Hey there guys, hope everyone is having a lovely day. My name is Mitchell Miletic, and for those of you who don't know me, I am one part of the Retro Rescuers here in Melbourne, and I thought I'd do things a little bit differently today. Seems we can't actually go thrifting and film things properly the way we like to. I'm gonna do a tips video. So this is the first time I'm going to do something like this, but I get inboxes all the time from you guys at home just asking me how you can make a little bit of extra cash doing the reselling thing casually on top of your day job. So here's some hints for you. Hopefully they help. First tip, home is where the junk is. So what that means is you don't need to run out and start spending a bunch of money and thrifting and garage sailing and all that sort of stuff at the start. If you're genuinely just looking to make some extra cash for you and your family, then look around the home. Start in the home. I'm sure if you go into your garage right now, you're gonna find a VCR or an old tub of toys or anything. Just find those things that are laying around your home that you have no need for anymore, sell those, and then that is your kitty. So use that money and then spend that money, but not the other way around. Don't go spending money first. Home is where the junk is. Home is where a lot of good junk is, I should say. And my second tip for you guys is to buy and sell what you know. So that goes for like your day job and your hobbies. Try and find items that revolve around that. So let's say you work as a mechanic. You know the ins and outs of how much parts are for certain cars and things like that. You've already got a huge advantage compared to other people. So you can go buy some secondhand tires or buy an old gearbox or something like that and resell those things and not really make mistakes. And even with your hobbies, let's say you're really into golf. You know heaps about golf clubs and how much secondhand golf clubs should be worth. You can just get on Facebook Marketplace and look at golf clubs all day and make a heap of money, just from your knowledge of golf. So just make sure you're selling and buying what you know. Personally, how I started this whole reselling journey was that I was obsessed with retro video games. So I'd cruise around all these garage sales and thrift stores and try and find old Nintendo and Sega games. And then I would just sell those games so I could buy other games without spending my own money. And that sort of snowballed into me learning other things. And eventually you sort of build up this knowledge and you can turn it into a full reselling business. But at the start, just try to stick to what your hobbies are and what you know. So that's my second tip there for you guys. All right, tip number 3, don't play shop. What I mean by don't play shop is when you're starting out doing this reselling thing on the side, there's no need for a big fancy label printer. There's no need for, amazing pretty paper to wrap your t-shirts in. There's no need to go buy a 100-meter long yarn of wool to wrap your shirt in so it looks nice. There's no need to go print business cards. None of that is needed at the start. Don't do that. Save all your money. So boxes, especially boxes for your packaging, you should never have to buy a box. Do you know how many neighbors and that would just give their life for you to come and take all their boxed rubbish? You know how many people don't know that you can just go to Bunnings and buy a hammer and when you're walking out, take 8 boxes with you? Just think of those sort of things because it will save you so much money in the end. The only thing that you sort of can't get away with buying is those mailer bags. So obviously if you've got something that can fit in there, just buy your mailer bags, but boxes, don't pay for them. Bubble wrap. Bubble wrap, it's an iffy one, but what me and Aaron did at the start, we didn't buy bubble wrap at all. All we would do is go down to our local Oz Post and we made buddy-buddy with the owner down there, and there was a local newspaper that used to get dropped off. And when those newspapers were old, they'd just throw them in the bin. So there'd be like 50 to 100 newspapers down there sometimes. And we worked it out so we could take all those newspapers home. Instead of them throwing them in the bin, we'd use them as like packaging, which was pretty much bubble wrap anyway, so we were sending delicates. So yeah, don't play shop. No one cares what your packaging looks like. No one cares about the little handwritten note. If you're doing this to make extra money, just make extra money. Don't try to play like you're running a big store. There's no need for that. No one cares. Me and Aaron, we still pack things in our cat's food boxes. I know that's probably embarrassing to say, but people don't care. They don't care. As long as their item gets home to them safe, they're happy. So yeah, don't play shop. All right, my next point is there is no magic out there, just hard work. And a lot of people on Instagram and YouTube at the moment on those sponsored ads will lead you to believe that there is a magic answer to all your reselling wildest dreams. But sadly, that's all mostly bullshit. Especially when they tell you that if you give them $500, they're gonna tell you a huge list of items that are making them a millionaire and that you should sign up and then you can be a millionaire. And that just doesn't really make sense to me, because if they really had this big list of items that are making them millionaires, why would they want to share it with you and thousands of other people? And then the market is just completely flooded with everyone competing with each other. So that's just not making sense at all. And most of these people claiming to be multimillionaires and claiming they're going to give you all the answers, they're living at home with their parents and making, cool little videos on the internet, but they ain't got shit. So yeah, be careful of those guys, because it's happening heaps now. I'm seeing more and more of it. And I know a few people have been sort of conned into it, and it's not good. There's plenty of free information out on the internet. Rally Roots, great channel if you're looking to learn about reselling and genuine tips for free. 2 Aussie thrifters here in Australia, just straightforward knowledge. No bells and whistles, just knowledge that will help you in your day-to-day life. Don't go spending a big heap of money just to be lied to. No magic, just hard work. And our last tip for today is make it worth your time. This one's probably more directed at people who are using eBay to resell their stuff. If you're just doing it on the weekends at your garage, making a garage sale for yourself, or just selling on Facebook Marketplace cash in hand, this probably doesn't matter to you. But on eBay, obviously you have things like fees and postage and all that sort of stuff. So you got to make the purchase worth it. I see a lot of people out there just filling their house with absolute garbage because it only cost them $2, but on paper it sells for $20. But really, when you take out all the fees, the postage, the time, the gas, the effort, that $2 item that you sold for $20 has really only made you like $3 or $4. So just keep that in mind. Make sure it's worth your time. I suggest sticking to something around like a $40 minimum. So when you're finding items, just make sure they will sell for at least $40. Because then, every time you got to pack something up and sending off, it's worth your time. Now, I know a lot of full-time resellers are probably going to jump on this and go, I make all my money selling things for $10 and $20. And it's like, yeah, that's fair enough. You might have a big storage shed somewhere where you can put thousands of items, but everyday people just looking to make a little bit of extra cash, they don't. So I don't want them falling down that spiral of buy all these things because they're cheaper than what they sell for. Some of those things might sit there for 18 months. So just make sure your initial purchase is worth your time. Minimum $40 resale, I reckon, is a good little sweet spot. All right. That's going to wrap it up there today, guys. Thank you for sticking it out and watching my little tips. I hope they were sort of helpful. I'm sorry it wasn't too in-depth. Like I said, this wasn't really for people who are full-time resellers or anything like that. Just for the average Joe looking to make some extra cash. One extra thing I will say, though, is don't let mistakes deter you or just completely turn you off this reselling thing. If you have a full-time job and you start doing this casually on the side, you are going to change the way you live. I promise you. You'll be taking your kids on holidays. You'll be doing up the house. You could get a new kitchen in 2 years if you start doing this on the side. I promise you. But don't let mistakes, put you off and make you never want to do it again. If you lose a couple of bucks here and there sometimes, that's fine. But yeah, stick it out and you will literally change your life. I promise you. It changed mine.